Washington Post. Large Joe, I think you stuck your hand in front of it. So we are on. Just don't go in front of the camera.
What?
You want to be seen doing this?
This is Norm Macdonald. Norm.
Say what? Wait, Norm. Say one more time.
Do you want to be seen doing this?
No, and I'm not. Until I was. Can we
This
start
is
over?
live. No, we can't. It's live. You can't start over. So I'm Jeff Edgers. I'm the national arts reporter at the Washington Post. We are backstage. This is what happens behind the scenes when an author
That's what I told you.
is signing his books. Norm,
Yes, sir.
you're Norm Macdonald.
Yes, I'm Norm Macdonald. I used to be on the TV, but now
you still are on TV.
I'm an author.
Norm has written this book, Norm Macdonald, based on a true story, a memoir. How would you describe this book?
It's a book that instead of facts, I used truth.
Is that a good? Do you think people will understand that?
No, they might not understand that.
Yeah.
It's partly fact and partly fiction, as Chris Gustafson would say.
And what are you doing right now?
Now I'm
very
doing
mechanical.
This, yes, the thing that this is not my idea. I'm signing my name on a bunch of books. The problem is later people will want me to write something to them. You know, like you say this is Deceive, your best friend ever, stuff like that. I got a lot of that.
But you feel like this is saving a lot of time.
No, I don't. I'm just doing what I'm told, like some kind of monkey, you know, on an organ.
So Norm, this book is, there are many things we could say about this book, but it details your time on Saturday Night Live, right?
That's right. It details my time on Saturday Night Live.
It talks about your celebrity friendships.
Yes, I've friends with lots of celebrities. I make it a point to have no non-celebrity friends.
Adam Sandler, he's in there, right?
Yeah, I realize that people that aren't celebrities are worthless.
Through the writing of this book, or
Through the
just
writing
in
of
your
this
life?
book, yeah, I started thinking about people, started thinking about my life, and I said, geez, you know, my mom and dad, what's so big about them? Nobody ever heard of them. But Sherry O'Terry, it's a different story.
So, thank you. We've been waiting for that. I hadn't asked my Sherry O'Terry question yet. I may not. So, and this book, so how much of this book,
Now, I'm being helped to doing this, by the way, so people know, or who's seen on this?
well, she can't, I don't think we can see her because she does not want to be on film, but it's a
Why
qualified,
witches? It's ridiculous.
how would you like to describe?
I'm
You're a host, aren't you? Katie? What's your name?
Jackie.
Sorry, Jackie. I apologize. Her name's Jackie. The reason I don't remember is she's not famous.
So this book, how much, it's based on a true story. Is there a percentage you'd say that is true?
Well, it's all true. It's all true, but you know, it's not factual. Like you know, Jeff here deals with journalism, where it's facts. So he's a man who deals in facts. But I'm not.
But the distinction is sometimes you can have something that's factually correct, but is actually untrue,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Like, for example?
For example, everything you write. No, yes, you know that, you know, fact could be bent to any shape to convince anyone of anything, and truth is a whole different matter. Truth has no agenda.
So this book was written by, you had a ghostwriter, right?
Yes, I had a ghostwriter named Terrence Keane.
And is he here tonight?
Terrence Keane is here tonight.
Okay. And you also, you get into all the episodes that you talk about.
I may as well, whatever.
What?
I don't want to spoil part of the book, so we won't talk about Terrence Keane anymore.
And
He'll be here tonight in spirit.
so one thing that's important is tonight we're actually going to carry this event live at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock? Yeah?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
On Facebook.
Facebook Live, Washington Post. We're going to carry Norm's reading and question and answer session over at 6 and I, which we're just so lucky to be here. But we have a big crowd. But if you couldn't be here, you couldn't be in town, you're going to get to experience Norm live. So, anything else?
We have a question from Jason Schleicher. What is your favorite choice in cheese?
Where's Jason?
That's a Monty Python sketch. My favorite choice in cheese, I'll go out on a limb and say cheddar. Cheddar cheese. Maybe not the most popular of cheeses, but I like it.
Where are these questions coming from?
From our Washington Post audience on Facebook.
great. That's
Wonderful.
exciting.
Well, they certainly
Yeah.
seem well read.
Do you have any other questions?
Lena said, "What are you doing? Signing books?" Right?
Yes. And there's no other answer except yes for that. Unless I wasn't doing it, and then my answer would be no. Anything else?
What's your favorite OJ joke from Ryan Policinski?
Oh, my favorite OJ joke was one time they showed his, Johnny Cochran, his lawyer, put on his hat, put on OJ's hat in court, and then my joke was OJ didn't help his cause any when he jumped out and yelled, "Hey, hey, hey! Easy with that. That's my favorite stabbing hat."
That's good.
We have a
I think it's
He didn't
actually,
help his cause any.
I think it's Lucky stabbing.
Lucky. Yeah, it is.
We have a question from Jace.
That's my lucky stabbing hat.
We have a question from Jace. Will you be upset if you get a statue made out of you like Gordon Lightfoot?
They made a statue of Gordon Lightfoot? Were you aware of that? Would I be upset? Well, Gordon Lightfoot, I hope they made a statue of him from when he was a young man. But I'm a huge Gordon Lightfoot fan, so no, I would be honored by that.
And Paul David Kushner asks, "How is it working with Mike Tyson?"
Well, I've never met Mike Tyson. We were just talking about this,
Yeah.
Jeff and I, that Mike Tyson had a funny line that he said, I don't know, Norm Macdonald, because he says, people keep coming up to me, asking me, I can't do Mike Tyson, obviously. So he said, everywhere I go, people say, hey, you work with Norm Macdonald, you work with Norm Macdonald. I never met Norm Macdonald, I don't know Norm Macdonald. I don't know Norm Macdonald from a can of paint. The only thing I know about Norm Macdonald is he's very famous. So I thought that was like Yogi Berra, I don't know Norm Macdonald, but I know he's very famous.
And Tony Burkhart.
But yeah, he does all his parts on this is a show called Mike Tyson Mysteries, in which I play one of his pigeons. And I do my parts from a recording studio. He does his parts from his giant mansion in Las Vegas. So, but I might go there and interview him for my podcast.
That'd be nice. That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd be a fun guest. I very much like Mike Tyson.
That's worth noting. You've restarted the video podcast. You
Oh,
did
yeah.
one with Stephen Merchant. Do you have more that are already recorded?
Yes, in the can.
In the
I have
can,
some
yeah.
In the can.
Who's on them? Can we?
Who's in? Who do I have that's
can
in
we
the
give
can?
Yeah. Who's in the can?
A boy named Bobby Lee
Yeah.
is one of the new faces. The future of comedy. Margaret Cho. Not exactly the future of comedy, but she now hosts Fashion Police. And a delightfully funny man. I didn't know how funny he was, but he was hysterically funny. One of the best episodes we've done was with Bill Hader.
Bill Hader.
Yes, the
Yeah.
impressionist from Saturday Night Live, but much more than an impressionist.
Yeah.
Fascinating guy. He, I first met him, I was in Boston, and I was just in a hotel, and he was there with Trey Parker and Matt Stone, the creators of South Park. I said, what are you guys doing? Well, they were writing South Park. So I said, Bill, you write South Park? Like he was on Saturday Night Live. So it was very strange to me that he also wrote South Park. I go, so you wrote South Park first and then you just continued? He goes, no, I wrote South Park after. So he said he loved South Park so much, and the structure of it was so good, he wanted to learn structure so he could write a movie. And he went to these guys and asked if he could do it. And he also did the same thing with Pixar. He wanted to learn how to write for that kind of movie because he had an idea. So he went to Pixar. He said, "I'm Bill Hader. I do Stefan on Saturday Night Live. Perhaps you've seen me." And so it was really cool. He wants to learn things, so that's how he does it for free. He goes,
It's like an apprenticeship,
yes.
except that he's famous.
It's like, yeah, it's like auditing
Yeah.
things. Well, I remember David Geffen said, like, when he first came to Hollywood, he would have lunch with a different guy every day. And, you know, within a few months, he'd had lunch with everybody.
Hmm.
Everybody wants to have lunch.
So, do we have any more questions?
We got one last question. What's your special guest, your
I
favorite
didn't know
special
there was
guest
one
on
last
SNL?
question.
Yeah.
Well, there might be more, but maybe for this
You're
section.
gonna
For this
resume.
session,
Oh,
Yeah.
what was the question?
Who was your favorite special guest on SNL? From David Wynn.
Special guest.
Yeah.
You mean like a guest host?
Yeah, guest
Like a
host.
host.
Yeah.
Like a host.
Yeah.
A guest host is like the Tonight Show.
Yeah.
With Johnny Carson. My favorite host was Bob Newhart, because Lauren would always ask who we wanted as a host. And people would say people that I didn't know, because I don't know new things. And very often, like the first episode I was ever on, the musical guest was I still can't remember.
Nirvana?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
I just incredible memory. No, I just guessed because it was your first episode was probably like 93.
Yes, it was
Yeah.
Nirvana.
He researched.
Yeah.
So it was Nirvana, which
Yeah.
we somehow knew. So I didn't know. Other people were like, "Oh, Nirvana," and I didn't even watch them, and then they were no more, and because Kurt Cobain was no more, and Kurt, and so my favorite. So Lauren would always ask guests, so people would always pick young hip guys, and I would say Bob Newhart. Everybody, Bob Newhart. Let's get Bob Newhart. So finally we got Bob Newhart. I wrote a sketch for Bob Newhart, and he used it in his. He asked me, "Can I use that in my stand-up?" He used my thing I wrote in stand-up, because Bob Newhart does like one-way conversations, and so my sketch I wrote for him was a one-way conversation that he was a postal supervisor, and he was talking to a disgruntled employee at the post office, and that was the idea of it. And he really liked it. And he did it in his act, and it was one of the high points of my life.
Was there a joke in that one? Do you remember? I mean, I
Well,
mean,
the joke
I know there was a joke in that one, but is there a joke you remember in that one?
Well, Bob Newhart would go like, I'm reading your report, Mr. Henshaw, and I can't help but notice that when we asked how you would describe yourself in one word, you said you said disgruntled. That's a kind of a red flag here at the post office. Now, when we asked you what the worst part of your job was, you said working beside the devil. Now, I looked at the records, and you worked beside Bill Waterston, and I've known him 30 years, and no, I'm not calling your dog a liar. I'm just saying.
What an honor, though, huh?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so thrilled.
All right, so
Having a childhood hero read my. Here's an interesting story too.
oh, I'm sorry.
Sort of.
We
Oh,
were going to
no,
go
sorry.
a little more, right?
Well, I was just going to say I met Don Adams one time, the great Don Adams, who played Maxwell Smart on Get Smart. And Don Adams told me that he was working in Chicago, and he lost all his money in a craps game. And that night, Bob Newhart, a young unknown man, Bob Newhart handed him this material to read, and he read it, and he said, "This is fantastic material, but I have no money. I can't pay you." And so that was what Don Adams told me. Then later, I told the story. I recounted the story to Bob Newhart, and he said, "That's what he told you, huh?" And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "Well," he goes, "this is what really happened. He goes, the first part was true. I showed him the material, and then three weeks later, I watched him do it on the Mike Douglas show."
That's good. I like it. All right, so obviously tonight many Don Adams stories, right? But this book is really, I'm saying this genuinely. This is a very, very, very good book. Very special book.
Oh, thank you.
And
I know you
it's,
called it special, which is very nice.
well, it's wildly creative and entertaining, and it's great. You know, I mean, but I'm not a book critic. You'll have to understand that. I actually can barely read, but it's a great book. You should come and hear Norm, and also pick up a book. You know, he pre-signed it for you.
Yes. And if you can't come in person, you can order the book on Amazon.com, or you can go to your local bookstore and support your local.
But you're going to sign books tonight after you're done, right?
Yes, I'm going to sign
So
books.
there'll be double signed. All
Absolutely,
right,
yeah.
thanks, and we'll see you back here.
Yeah, 7 o'clock, Washington Post.